Everybody, welcome back. This is Diane Brandon Moody, and once again, I'm here with 50 something love about dating over 50. As I have said often, I didn't get married myself until I turned 58, and that was my first. And using a lot of what I learned myself, and I was the classic kind of client that I work with now. So I am going to get started on one particular topic, and this is to say that online dating absolutely will try your patience. Try the patience of a saint, as my granny used to say, because just about anybody in the world can get on it. Those women whose must-have list turned into concrete, and those guys who don't put forth any effort at all, they both can get there with virtually no work at all. It doesn't take much to get into the online dating world at all. So this means this is no more selected for you than if you are driving down a busy highway and every single guy in the world is standing on the side of it. I mean, can you pick a good one based off that? No, it's going to take a little bit more work than that, but it can be just about anyone. So the barrier for entry is really reduced down to anybody with a pulse and a thumb. That's about it. Maybe enough to pay the $30 fee or whatever fees are these days. That's the good news and the bad news. So the good news is, though, that according to Stanford's last study, 40% of couples are still finding each other this way. So it's not like it's not doable. It very is doable. But there are some things that you've got to do to make it worthy for yourself. It will test your patience, yes. And today we're going to navigate just how doing online dating without losing your mind, and I lost mine many times, or your hope, plus the other ways to meet people that have nothing to do with an app. So buckle up, sweetie. Let's talk about this. So, why is it worth staying on? Math. Math is why it's worth staying on. 40% of couples meet that way now. It widens your world past just the handful of people that you'd run into in your neighborhood or however you might meet them. So that's fine with me if that's what you want to do it. Being over 50 here, I mean, there's a lot of people over 50 online. I'm sure you've noticed this. This was true when I was doing it 8 years ago, was the last time I did it. A lot of people looking. So you can set the pace of how often you want to do it, and you can control the exits, which is good. That is kind of powerful if you think about it as that. So low barrier can also mean, as I said, low effort. Somebody who says, hey, at 11, and that's it. Blurry photos of a fish, the profile with zero words. I mean, or not any effort put in at all. The ones that you thought maybe something could come of this, they go quiet all of a sudden. You don't really know why. The ones who write back don't move you very much, and so you go around and around just like a carousel. It can be very fatiguing. Swiping is a part-time job nobody pays you for. So here's the thing. If you're going to find yourself disqualifying men in 3 seconds flat, notice it with curiosity instead of judgment. How about that? Like, why is this disqualifying for me? There may be very good reasons. I'm not saying that there are not good reasons. There may be very good reasons why you're getting rid of this guy pretty early on, and that would be fine. But if you're doing it out of habit because he doesn't have your list of 110 things of what you want in a guy, yeah, let's slow that down and get a little more curious because that is what will work for you long term. And if you are disqualifying that fast, what I want to say is that's a nervous system action. What you're doing is trying to protect yourself from further hurt, but you've convinced yourself that that's not what you're doing at all. You've convinced yourself that you're merely protecting yourself, or the heart wants what the heart wants. Could be true. And then again, you just may be protecting yourself and doing nothing better than that. So, what I want you to do is just take a notice of that. So, I would say, and this is what I teach in Simply Irresistible, which is coming again in July. If you want more information about it, send me an email, info@dianebrandonmoody.com. Is really start with some deep breaths before you even look at your website. Take some good looks and see if anything in there really is something that you're not even the slightest bit curious about. You're not marrying this guy. It's too early to make that decision. What you can say is, hey, is it worth a cup of coffee or a cocktail after dinner? Is there something somewhere that he's worth talking to? So, don't run it like a project. Don't run it like a job interview. Nobody's interested in that. But if you are paying attention to your body and how your body feels when you stumble on somebody who might, just might get past the first stage, then it's time to talk nervous system stuff. And like I said, that's a whole thing on Simply Irresistible. Like I said, this isn't a job interview, so please resist the urge to interview him. Like, you don't want to be interviewed, but just have a little bit of fun, have a little curiosity. Don't be attached to the way the date turns out at the end of the evening. That is the fastest way you can screw up. And it's a way that I did it many times. I screwed up many times because I liked him so much. I was ready to make this into a relationship before I got very far. And, you know, it that is not good. All you want in one of these dates, a coffee, whether it's a coffee date, a cocktail date, a dinner date, a walk around the park, an ice cream date, whatever it is, all you want to know from this is, do you want a second date? That's all you need to ask. Do I want a second date? And if the answer is no, and you can qualify that by why no is true, then you should move on. If you just automatically say no, there may be something to look at there. Let's use your brain in this process. In the early stages, you might have a little spark. You may think he's cute. You may think he is, you know, able to carry on a conversation, all these things that you want in something. And you may think, that's all cool that he can do this. But this is a time to just kind of silently sit back and use your brain at times. He's probably going to give you clues without your even asking, like what happened to the last relationship or the wife, or maybe he's still married and is trying to not tell you that, but somehow he slips up and he says that. So you kind of need to be a little bit of a detective in this. Just by being quiet and listening to what he says and evaluating it later when you get home, that is a good place to be on a first date. Not a lot more than that. Do you want a second date? That's really all you got to do. Another thing that you want is you want to be safe. Safety is not asking for a lot. It's asking for everything in at the same time. Now, I am doing my last Dating Safely and Scam Free live program on June 25th. And if you want to come to that, it's free. Then sign up at dianebrandonmoody.com slash safety and we'll be on there. I don't think that every man out there is scary. I don't think that every man out there is out to get you. I don't think every man out there is Jack the Ripper. I don't. I think most of them are very good people. But if you want to learn how to avoid the not so good ones, I will be happy to discuss that live. Um, I think that also, and I have said this many times, aside from online dating, get out in the world and have some fun. Don't just be cranking on your phone all day, all night, looking for the next possibility to be disappointed over. Go do something fun. You may never meet the guy you want to be with. You may just be having fun. And fun changes fundamentally how you handle this. When you're having a good time, you are a lot more attractive versus somebody who is so cranked up because they keep going on around and around on these online Ferris wheels. You can also tell your friends that you're looking. Maybe they are too. You can have a whole lot of fun on that. So, before I'm going to close early on this, but just a few more things to note here. You can do more than one thing at a time. You can be online and in person and talking to friends. You can do all of that at the same time, and it's okay. Make all of them fun. Make all of them something that you're going to do a little bit of. Do not make this your job. That's the fastest way to make yourself crazy. Treat your profile a little bit like a door that you're inviting someone through. Your photos have to be recent. They have to be accurate. If you are somebody saying, well, yeah, that was 6 years ago, but I looked really good then, you're part of the problem. If you're hiding the fact that you're 50 pounds higher than that photo, speaking as a plus size woman myself, I'm telling you, you are the problem. You have to be accurate for two reasons. Number one, it is not fair to lie to a guy and present yourself as something you're not. That isn't going to work. It's not. Secondly, you're missing out on the guy who maybe likes his women like you are, whatever that is, a little heavier or a little older or a little more wise or with gray hair or whatever it is that you're trying to hide from everybody else because you feel pretty bad about it. You're missing the guy who might like that. And there are guys out there who do like it. Do not lie in your profile. Do not lie in your photos. Make those accurate. If you still think that you have good reasons to keep those because, hey, I don't look any different than I did 20 years ago, you are so lying to yourself and you're doing it to protect yourself. But in the meantime, you're pissing off a lot of people and they're getting annoyed and they don't want to be around you and they chalk it up to another thing that is wrong with online dating and why women are all bad to date. Keep in mind, a guy isn't seeing all the guy photos. He's not seeing that guys also lie about their age or that they don't put much effort into anything and they don't read the profile. They're just reading the ones from women. And their most common complaint is that women use old photos and lie about their weight. Don't do this. If you feel like you are so awful to look at that you will not get a date at all, I don't believe this. However, if you feel this way, then don't date at all until you can feel a little better about yourself. Join Simply Irresistible and we'll take care of that problem for you. need to be out doing stuff you love. You need to be hanging with people you love. Don't make the absence of romantic love be the project of your life. I've been around people like that. I know I was like that at one time. It's tedious. You are not the best you can be. And when that happens, ain't nobody introducing you to their recently single brother-in-law. I mean, nobody's going to do that. So become the person you would like to be around. You can have a short list of non-negotiables. I know this happens among people. That's fine with me. But what you can't do is have a 50-mile long list of those non-negotiables because that's not a man, that's a Disney prince. And nobody is going to find that Disney prince. Low effort, that's just a free filter. A low effort person tells you, whether it's a man or a woman, a low effort tells you that that is not your person. So, however you meet him, whether it's online or in line at the grocery store, none of it matters if your body just slams the door shut. If you suddenly get so afraid, if you get so afraid of meeting anybody because you read about an article where that happened once, then you need to do two things. You need to get some clear information on how to be safe for yourself, and you need to deal with your nervous system because that's more of a nervous system issue than it is reality. So I've said it before, but the last Dating Safely and Scam Free guide is going to be June 25th. It's a Thursday night, and I'll go through all of this with you on how to be safe. Simply Irresistible starts July 14th. And if you are curious about that, book a love audit, dianebrandonmoody.com/love audit, and we will talk about it. So if any of this helped, can you please forward this to people that you know? Please give me a review so I rise a little bit and this gets out to more people. And in the meantime, if you have an issue with online dating you don't know how to solve, send me an email, info@dianebrandonmoody.com. So that's all of what I have to say for this week. I look forward to seeing and hearing from you soon. I hope you're having a wonderful summer, and let's get with it. I hope you find the love that you want and deserve.